Hey, this is RIKKI ROXX, and you are listening to ROXX100.com.
The Big Rock.
The Big Rock. Keeping the music alive.
Bon Jovi. Lenny Kravitz.
Hey, all you rockers. This is Johnny J, your host for The Big Rock. Catch me right here on ROXX 100 as we are keeping the music alive, rocking the 70s, 80s, and 90s. The Big Rock on ROXX 100.
Rock. The Big Rock. The Big Rock.
Everything that rocks. Rocks.
Feel your best before making an arrest. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets when you don't want something salady. Avoid police brutality. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
Cop pockets, filled with juicy jelly, mouth-watering maple and bacon, and creamy custard on a crispy donut.
When you want an easy meal while you're busting that your deal. What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
The cop meal in a pocket.
What you gonna pick? Cop pockets.
Hey kids, would you like to be a rock god the likes of David Lee Roth in his heyday? Then you need to get the
RIKKI ROXX Rock God Starter Kit.
Each kit comes complete with black nail polish, eyeliner, sparkly scarf, an actual chick magnet, a velvet jacket to make all the girls go wild, and an over-the-hat skull cap with bandana accessory. Act Now will also include a handy booklet showing you all the best places to wear your sunglasses at night. Regularly a $29.95 value, now yours free when you take advantage of this fabulous offer. But don't act just yet. We'll also throw in a wall poster chart diagramming all the best rock faces to enchant your audience, proven to wet the ladies' panties in mere seconds. For all you newbies, this great kit also includes a CD demonstrating how to push your voice for the radio, taught by RIKKI ROXX himself. So quit being a big puss and man up rock style with the
RIKKI ROXX Rock God Starter Kit.
Now yours for just $29.95 plus $99.95 shipping and handling. Call now. 1-800-ROCK-GOD. That's 1-800-ROCKGOD. Now. Operators and tattooed hookers are standing by to take your order.
Did you wake up this morning with a nasty rash and nothing but regret? Did you go home with a sweaty bass player last night? Did you wake up wanting to chew your own arm off because some skank's laying on it? Are you feeling a burning, itching sensation in your crotchal region? Do you feel like you need to scratch your ass with tree bark? Are you walking around like you were banged with a Scud missile? Did you meet someone at the bar you thought would actually call you back? Idiot! Then you need Skankosporin. It'll cool that burning sensation before you do the walk of shame to the cab. That's Skankosporin Itch Paste.
Available at In-N-Out Party Stores, Bottles and Stuff, 8 Mile Liquor, and Cunningham Drugs.
Hey, this is Chris from Ava Under Fire, and you're listening to ROXX 100.
You and I had the road.
following program is recommended for mature individuals and may contain material unsuitable for morons, cretins, and dishwipes. If you are a moron or a member of the PTL Club, please turn off your radio, because we don't need any more stupid, narrow-minded, pencil-neck geeks who wouldn't know the First Amendment if it came up and bit them on the butt. Thank you.
Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. It's Ricky rocks, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Ricky Rock Show, spreading like the pox. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
Yes, all that. All right, so there we go. Okay, here we are, episode number 136 of the Ricky Rock Show right here on Rocks100.com and streaming live on YouTube Live. Here we go, another week. I am joined, as always, by the infamous mic dropper, frontman of Fallen Stronger, Mr. Larry Smith. How are you doing, brah?
I'm doing.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.
Well, it's the thing, you know, this is that new generation now where people tell dads Happy Mother's Day because you got to kind of wear both hats, I guess. You got to be mom and dad, I guess. That's a thing.
Whatever you say.
I guess it's a thing because I've seen so much stuff on Facebook. It's like, Happy Mother's Day to all the moms doing it on their own and the dads who have to fill in, you know, do the mom job kind of thing. Yeah. And the same thing on Father's Day when that comes around in a month or whatever.
Right.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads and the moms that have to be the dads. And I'm like, well, now we're in that generation where moms can literally be dads.
Mm-hmm.
So, do anything for Mother's Day or anything like that? You know,
we went out on Saturday and, well, my birthday was Friday.
Yeah. Happy birthday.
Yeah. So, like, you know, today is very crowded and everywhere you go. And if you want to wait, you wait. But, you know, we're going to celebrate it tomorrow because it's just easier to get in to the place she wants. We know we got to wait.
Where you going?
We just go to Texas Roadhouse.
Oh, shit. Well, that's classy.
Yeah.
Is that the place where you throw, like, the nuts on the ground? Like they have
I
those...
think, wasn't that like Logan's or something?
Oh, that might be Logan's. Yeah. My daughter loves that.
She's just peanuts on the ground.
Yeah, she's just like, oh, I'm not even eat the peanuts. I'm just going to crack them and throw them on the ground. I'm like, these people are going to love you. You're just cracking shit and throwing it on the floor. So going to Texas Roadhouse and probably have some big protein steaks.
Yeah, like the in-bone ribeye is what I get.
Yeah. What's your mom usually get?
Sirloin or... Yeah, sirloin.
Oh, I thought you were going to be like, oh, she usually just gets the side salad, but she just goes because...
I don't know if I'm paying, she's eating.
Yeah, Mother's Day today, I feel so bad I didn't go see my mom or anything. I just sent her a text, Happy Mother's Day, and she's like, thanks. I'm like, well, there we go. You know, because I was like, shit, I didn't get her anything, so I'm like, I'm not going to go over there because then she's want to make me food, and I'm just like, I didn't get you anything, so...
Right.
So I didn't really do anything. You know, took the kids, well, my daughter to the store, got stuff for their mom and all that. We did that today, and that was pretty much it. I was in bed all day today. You know. Okay, so this is, so today, Nikki, she had to work early, so I had to watch the kids. The cool thing is my daughter's old enough to where she can watch my son by herself pretty much. So I'm like, okay, I'll give you like $3. Watch your brother. I'm going back to bed. And she's like, and she's like, wow, $3. She's still at that age where $3 is a lot of money. So I'm like, I got to take full advantage of this while I can.
Right.
So it's like, if I give her $1 to do something, she's like, oh man, you're giving me a whole $1 to take out the garbage. I'm like, yeah, it's $1. Here you go. She's still at that age where that's a lot of money, so went back to bed and kind of rolled out of bed about 1. That was horrible. My daughter was sitting there like all day, like from 8 a.m. to 1 watching my son for $3. So the reason I slept in so late, I need to throw this out there. Last night was probably the one show I've ever played in my life that I hated the most. It was wretched. I hate doing it. I don't know how people enjoy playing covers. So what ended up happening is Casting had this gig, show, whatever, at the office out in Port Huron, which is where we practiced when I joined the band and all that. And we practiced there up until recently. And they have bands on Saturdays, out on the deck, it's a deck, covered by tarps, so karaoke inside, band outside. This is how the night shook down. So first, Jeff played acoustic covers from like 9 till like 9:30, 9:45. Took a break, and then we're going to do the Casting Shadowz set. A whole set of the pretty much the normal thing. Right. Take a break, get back up there, and play a shit ton of covers that I don't know. and Chad was the same way. He's like, I know the songs, like I've heard them before, don't really know how to play them. It's stuff like Talk Dirty to Me by Poison, stuff like that. Right. It's like, yeah, you've heard the song, but don't really know how to play it, And so it's like a bunch of songs like that. And that's the part of the set where I'm like, ooh, turn the bass down on this one so nobody hears me completely fuck up. And, it's like we kind of know them, but Jeff and Donnie have been playing these covers for like 20 years. So they know them like better than the Casting Shadowz stuff, and Chad and I are like, maybe, so we muster through it. I'm just like doing kind of stuff. I'm like, the note's in there somewhere. I'm in key, and they're like, dude, Ricky, during the covers, you're just going nuts. I'm like, cause I don't know the songs. And, so after the cover set, we take another break. And then the idea for the last set was we were going to do, some of the covers we know a little bit better, like Killing the Name and Fight for Your Right to Party and shit like that. Right. And then mix in originals again and do that. That was the plan. So what ends up happening?
Jeff had other plans.
So what ends up happening is this is the office, this is Saturday night. People go there to party, and party they did. It was crazy. And so like the first set, Jeff's playing acoustic, so I have nothing to do. Jeff and Donnie were playing. So Donnie's kind of doing light drums. Jeff's playing acoustic. Chad and I are just kind of like out and about. Right. And, I have the makeup on and all this. I look like I don't fit in Port Huron. I have my kilt on and all this, this is a redneck city. Right. And I have a makeup and a dress. And so I'm getting drinks coming my way, shots, all this. At one point by my amp, I had probably 5 or 6 Jack and Cokes, because people would come up to me and be like, dude, what are you drinking? I'm like, well, this is a Jack and Coke. And they're like, all right, man, I'm going to go get you one or two. And I had just gotten, this is how it worked. Like I had just gotten a drink. They're like, oh, what are you drinking? I'll buy you one. So I was just like banking them, so by the end of the night, I'd drink one and then 2 more would show up, and then shots. And so by the end of the night, I think we had all drank a little much. It wasn't going good, that last set. I mean, even the originals, we were kind of biting it, and, I was like, dude, these 4 or 5 hour marathon gigs suck. It's horrible because it's not like 45 minutes, boom, you're done.
All right.
No, you are up there all fucking night. So, it was cool. People seemed to dig it. There were people, there's a lot of dancing. There was even some boobs thrown out there, because Jeff is, he's a good front man and he can kind of gauge an audience. At a point, the whole deck was everybody was just trashed. You know, people are falling out of their seats, and you know, we're standing there, and all of a sudden you just hear, you know, 2 people down and glasses everywhere.
That's a good time.
So, you know, Jeff is good at reading the audience. He's like, well, if I'm going to do the show me your titties thing, now's the time to do it. You know, and there were some good looking girls there, you know, which is weird for that bar. Because it's like a rock and roll bar. You know, these girls look like they'd be into like T-Pain and stuff like that and hip, you know, that kind of stuff. So they're there completely wasted. And Jeff's like, show me your teeth. And one girl, God bless her, pulled her shirt up and there it was. And I'm like, oh my God, never done that before. And God, like I got to sign things that I've never signed. I signed 2, no, nothing weird. 2 people want me to sign their dashboard in their car. And I'm like, really? You know, that's kind of like a forever thing. Right. You're going to see that every day when you go to work now. It's not like a T-shirt or something you can be like, no, fuck these guys and throw it away. This is a fucking car. And so they had the whole band come out there and sign a dashboard. And then another guy's like, oh, what's up? And they're like, oh, they want us to sign a dashboard. Oh, sign my dashboard too. So we're just going through the parking lot signing. Well, there's only 2 dashboards. And I'm like, this is fucking bonkers. And so it was fun. People seemed to have had a good time. And the bar was like, dude, you guys freaking killed it. And, you know, there were a lot of people here, a lot of casting fans that don't get to come down to Diesel and all that, you know. Yeah. It was nice that they got to see a show and it was free and super cool. So it was a good time. And now casting is getting ready for this 3-day run. Like I told you before, I kind of don't want to do it, but playing Kalamazoo on Thursday, Friday, Battle Creek at the Music Factory opening for Smile Empty Soul. And then those 2 places are a half hour apart. Then Jeff, the guru of tour routing, decides to book a gig 5.5 hours away in Louisville, Kentucky on Saturday. So we're going down there to do that. And Jeff says it's a headlining set. I'm like, dude, we're playing last. You know, so we're playing 21st in Germantown down in Louisville, Kentucky. And then driving home, and hopefully I'm in decent enough shape to come home on Sunday and do this show. And tell everybody out there how much of a train wreck it is inevitably going to be. You know, because this is like and this is also the first run that we're doing where we're actually bringing a quote unquote crew. Ooh, it's one guy. Oh. It's one guy. You know, he's like, dude, I'll drive, I'll do the merch, and I'll help you huff gear. And we're like, okay, can't really pay anything, and you got to buy your own food. Okay, that's cool. You know, and I'm like, all right, you're fucking crazy, but you know, Brian Sayers in love the guy. He did merch for Ave Under Fire for a long time until he got their major label thing, and now he's a free agent, and for some reason seems to have taken a liking to Casting Shadowz. And so he's going to be coming out on the run with us. It's going to be cool. And then we have a couple more shows. We're back at Diesel at the end of May, doing that Kaleido show, and with what is it? The Line Within, Jason Kane's new band, Cyodyne, and I can't remember the other one. So we're doing that, and bunch of shows and shit. Hinder's coming up. It's a thing. What else? I can't even keep track of this shit anymore, dude. And then on top of all that, you know, I was telling you before, I'm trying to pack my shit up here. Oh, got to talk about this too. God, I hate this house so much. So I come down here to start getting the show ready. I hadn't been down here since last week. I come down here into the studio, infested, ants everywhere. Ants, just hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of ants. And I'm like, what the fuck happened here? You know, I'm like, looking, do I have food down here or anything like that? You know, I had a couple Pepsi cans, and there's just ants crawling everywhere. I pull up the mixing board. There's a pile of ants underneath it. I nudge them with a cord and they scatter like roaches. So I'm here with Ray just, you know, Auschwitzing their ass, you know, like they're Jews in 1943 Germany, you know, like this. Yeah. I'm like, you're all going to die. And That was horrible to say, but horrible to say. But, you know, I pretty much, chemical weaponed their ass. And, you know, oh God, it was a mess. And so I had to vacuum down here because they were just, you know, I'd kill them and kind of blow them onto the, God, I can't wait to move the fuck out of here. This place sucks. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with all that, but, yeah. It's wonderful. It's a wonderful time to be alive. Shout out into the chat. Bob Surgott, he's there. Happy Mom's Day to all the moms. That's from Steve Ingiel in Mississauga, Ontario. He actually got us beer of the week this week. So we're going to have some Canadian beer today. And it's not Molson or Labatt. I thought that's all they had in Canada, but I guess whatever. Right. Steve says, depends on the covers. God, I'm trying to remember what covers we played. I know we did Talk Dirty to Me. Oh, we did It's So Easy by Guns N' Roses. I totally butchered it. God, I can't. That's how many drinks I had. It was a train wreck. I think we did Bob Seger. We did like 90s stuff that I don't know. Like I couldn't even tell you. I can't even hum the guitar part, but they're like 90s alternative rock stuff, you know, stuff that you would have heard on alternative radio in the 90s, right. You know, like live and stuff like that, dad rock. Mm-hmm. So yeah, you know, I think there was some Seeger in there. I think Jeff played Brown Eyed Girl and he played Patience acoustic. I'm trying to think of what else. We did Killing the Name Of by Rage Against the Machine later in the night. We didn't get to do Fight for Your Right to Party because the sound guy's like, look, guys, you guys are all pretty wasted and there's nobody here. We can just wrap this up. You don't have to finish your set. I think the bar will be okay if you stop 15 minutes early. Right. So, I mean, it was okay. I don't like doing them at all. I hate doing covers, you know, and the people that join cover bands and do this every fucking weekend, y'all some soldiers, man. It's horrible. It sucks. And people that do those cover bands, they like know hundreds of songs.
Yeah.
I'm like, I hate learning 12. And they, you know, you go see these cover bands and they have like lists of hundreds and hundreds of songs that they know so they can change it up every show. Right. I'm like, y'all fucking crazy. And they play like hard songs. Like they'll play like Rush. It's like we're playing like Gin Blossoms. You know, right. We're not even playing anything hard, you know. What is it? Steve Ingiel, if you could pull it off, try By Tor and the Snow Dog by... No, I can't play Rush. Jesus Christ. No Rush is happening. So yeah, no, can't pull it off. You know, Jeff's like, dude, let's just learn a bunch of easy covers, make the money and go home. We couldn't even get the easy covers. It was horrible. It was a wreck. I mean, Jeff and Donnie were on, and Chad and I were just like, I don't know what the hell we're playing. And just like, keep going, turn your amp down so nobody can tell. And so that's pretty much what we did. So coming up on the show, do you have anything else to add on to all that? Anything cool going on this week?
No, I had my kids, went to the water park, and, seen my mom. That was it. Didn't do much.
See... Every week you're like, well, I didn't do much, I had the kids. And then here I am talking about these wild and crazy adventures with ants and you got your pigweed show.
Yeah.
Is that looking like it's gonna be a banger, like packed show?
Yeah, it should be.
Okay. Are you guys direct support or did they fuck you over and put you first?
No, we're right before pigweed.
Okay, cool. Was that like a big band or anything like that?
I'm guessing maybe. I mean, they're on touring, so I mean they sound like Korn to me. They're pretty badass, honestly. I like them.
Okay, so that's at Simon's After Dark in Allen Park.
Yes.
Okay.
May 13th.
There it is. So yeah, it's like every week you're like, oh, I didn't do much, and I'm just like, oh yeah, dude, fucking drunken party and titties everywhere, and right. Dude, and one thing, God, I feel so bad. Like, so we're doing the cover set, and the chick that was showing her boobs and all this. Her and her guy were like dancing like right in front of me. So she's facing away from me. So I'm getting the back of her in the butt, and she's kind of wearing those boy short deals. Mm-hmm. And the guy is just all up on her shit. Like they're just making out and he's just like grabbing her at like right in front of me. And so I'm doing these background vocals and I am just cracking up. And, you know, it's one of those things where it's like I have to harmonize with Jeff and I'm like, you know, whatever the song was, I'm like, get that ass, boy, get that ass, get that ass, you know. And he's just kind of like looking over me over his shoulder. It's like, yeah. And I'm like, God, this is so dirty. It was it was debaucherous last night. And Steve Engel, you know, he said he was going to come up, but he couldn't make it over. He was actually going to drive 2.5 hours from Mississauga, Ontario to come to Port Huron to see Casting Shadowz play on a deck.
Damn. Hey.
And I'm like, dude, you're going across international borders to see my dumbass? But he couldn't make it. So metal on metal by Ant, that's too much. Easy to learn that. I don't know. Free Bird next time. Bob, no. Free Bird. Free Bird. So yeah, it was crazy. You know, I wish I could have enjoyed the debauchery a little bit more, but I had to fucking play in a band, you know, so that wasn't fun. Dude, and some of those girls were getting so hammered. They're like, so during like some of the break, you know, Jeff, the big rock star, you know, we're only supposed to have 15, 20-minute breaks. Jeff's schmoozing and caboozing with everybody out there. So we're like, dude, it's been a half hour. We got to kind of do shit. Chad, Ultimate Pro, he's like, okay, well, Jeff ain't here. He puts on his guitar and plays riffs, and we kind of jam and shit like that. And, you know, people were getting really into it and shit like that. And I don't know where the fuck I was going with this. But, you know, at the end of the night, you know, some of those chicks were getting just, like, pissed, like, angry at, like, Chad. You know, and like, you disrespectful shit. And Chad's getting pissed. Sophia's getting pissed. And I'm like, dude, she's just hammered. Just let it fucking go. We're playing in front of a bunch of drunks on a Saturday night. You know, he's like, yeah, but you know, she's talking shit. And I'm like, let her talk shit. You know, you're never gonna see this bitch again. You know, so it was crazy. It was redneck trashy. Like Springer kind of shit, you know. It was going down in a very fluffy way. So getting out with the show, we have a killer show. We have we didn't do our nuts and bolts and harsh truths yet, did we? Nope. Oh, no, we didn't do that. We usually do that first. So we'll jump into that. Our nuts and bolts and harsh truths. This week we have a question from Jamie out of Dallas, Texas. He or she, that's one of those names. Hi, I am new to the channel and saw you had this segment and figured I would email you. And you out there can email us as well, rocks100radio@gmail.com if you have a question. You may have answered this a million times, but when you are in a band, what are the quote-unquote ideal shows that you would want to try to get? Any shows? National shows? Paying shows? What do you guys think? So Larry, what is your ideal show?
I'd say all three of them.
Well, of course, all three. But you get to, you know, what are you looking for first? You know, when you get pitched a show, somebody's like, dude, Fallen Stronger's fucking tits. I want them to play my show. What's the first question?
Where's that?
Okay, so a lot of it has to do with the venue first.
Venue. The money thing, you know, honestly, with my band, we're not really in it for the money. We do it because we love it. So, I mean...
So is that kind of like the last thing you'll ask is about the dollars?
I mean, is it a ticket selling show? You know, obviously the Nationals are 99% ticket selling shows unless you're playing Machine Shop, of course.
Right.
You know, I mean, can your band sell tickets? You know, most don't like selling tickets. I don't mind because I can sell them all myself.
Yeah.
So we'll do ticket selling shows. But I mean, if you're just starting, I guess, you know, usually like we did, we jumped on the local scene, you know, Diesel or Hot Rocks, Detroit Pub when it was there.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
so now, you know, being an established band, you know, so you're not going to play every show that's offered to you now. I'm sure you turn down shows.
Right.
So it's not, if you've been out there, don't play every show. A national show gets pitched to you. You know, what are your questions when a national, you know, if somebody's like, hey, want to open for band X, whatever it is, you know, what do you ask at that point?
Well, obviously,
are you like, how many tickets, or, you know, do we get any money off the tickets? You know, Are we going to do you ask if there's any money to be made when you do ticket sale shows, or are you just like, all right, we'll sell them and just hand you a bunch of money?
Honestly, with all the ticket selling shows I've ever did, most of them are through Mike, and Diesel. If say, you're opening for whoever, and they want to give you 50 tickets.
Yeah.
Well, me, I've always sold 25 for them and sold 25 for me.
Right.
I've never had anybody tell me that, hey, this venue's selling 35 tickets and you get 15.
Right.
Fuck that.
Right.
Fuck am I going to do with that?
Right.
I'm going to give my band like $18 a piece? No.
Right.
If it's a 50-50 for me, and if the venue don't, it is what it is. I mean, now, there's shows like Paul Cobb, which if you play a show for him, you're always going to be selling tickets.
And he gets 100% of them, the money. Or pretty close.
It's like that.
Or sell 90, and then after 90, I'll give you $5 a ticket.
Right. I think the last show that we played for him was we get 50 tickets, we sell 30, and we keep the rest.
So what show was that? Do you remember who you were opening for?
I think it was Flaw.
Okay, so 50. They don't draw 50 people by themselves. So if it's like a local show, do you ask about how pay works, or do you not even bother with it? Like if somebody's
I don't bother with it,
because like my birthday, like every time I've asked you, it's always been like, okay,
right,
do it, send it, But if like Joe somebody hits you up, hey, you guys want to play this dingy little bar in Ypsi? We've got unknown band A, B, C, and D, and we need a big band like Fallen Stronger on the bill. What do you say?
I say, let me check with the guys.
And then you never check with the guys, and you kind of hope it just goes away.
Well, with our schedule, with Rich and Adam, them guys, sometimes we can't do stuff. Rich doesn't get weekends off, so every show we have on a Friday or Saturday, he has to take off.
Oh shit!
So it's one of those deals right now. I mean, if you're a new band starting out, with the local shows, I guess I would just try to get my name out there and established and play them, whether you're making money or not. I mean, unless you're coming from hours away.
Yeah.
But
for me, my ideal show, like you said, of course, you want all of it. You want to be a national, you want to get paid, and that's the thing. Ideally, you want to do, at least in my head, what a show that obviously fits your band. Mm-hmm. Casting Shadowz not going to go and take a show opening for Godflesh. Right. Or we wouldn't do well there,
right.
So, national shows are great, but they got, the lineup's got to kind of fit your sound.
Yes.
And, the idea is to get your band in front of people that would be more prone to liking your kind of music, so, like Casting Shadowz, we're dad rock, so if the bands from the 90s, comes through, or the 2000s, like Hinder, we do really well. Puddle of Mud, Tantric,
right.
Those kind of bands, typically we do better, because people that are going to see Tantric or Puddle of Mud would be more prone to liking Casting Shadowz stuff, so that's kind of what you're going for, so that's what I'd go for. What has the most opportunity to be in front of as many people as possible without playing too much. Right. Because, you can get on a shit ton of nationals if you want to schlep a lot of tickets, but nobody likes it saying or having like, all right, I got 5 shows here that I got to sell tickets for. I got to sell 50 of each. I got to sell 250 tickets all together for all these shows. Mm-hmm. You got to kind of pick and choose, so, pick the one that you're going to be, that's going to match what your band sounds like, or be close to it, that has the most potential for most amount of people to be there. And usually that's going to be your national shows.
Yep.
And most venues or promoters will kind of work with you on pay. I didn't know this until I joined Casting, but every show Casting takes, Jeff negotiates, if it's like $15 ticket or something like that, Jeff will be like, well, originally they're gonna give us $5 a ticket, for every one we sell, but Jeff knows he can schlep tickets to anybody. He can sell massive amounts of tickets. So he's just like, well, I negotiated with them to sell 15, everything after that we get to keep, kind of thing like that. So don't negotiate on national shows.
Right.
So that way you'll get the pay and you'll get in front of more people, and also negotiate your time spot.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Places don't really do it too much anymore, at least around here. But back in the day, Harpo's, before Russ bought it, and that Ernie dude was running it, you'd have, let's say Puddle of Mud, that would be your headliner. There'd be 8 or 9 bands opening for him, 15-minute sets, and doors are at 6. The first band's at 6:15.
Wow.
And so it'd be like 15-minute sets, 5-minute changeovers, and just boom, 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 boom. And for a second there, Harpo's had a second stage so they could schlep more bands on the bill.
Right.
So it'd be like one band plays 15 minutes, another band over here plays for 15 minutes, and now there's 10 bands on the bill opening for Puddle of Mud, playing 15 minutes, and then Puddle of Mud plays for 2 hours. Russ don't really, he doesn't do it like that, which is cool. You get a full proper set, and there's only 3 or 4 openers now.
Right.
So yeah, make sure you negotiate your time spot. If that means you go to and be like, hey, if I sell 10 more tickets, can I get bumped up in the set a little bit more and play a little bit later, direct support, or second to direct support? That's of course the ideal spot is to be on right before the national. That's when there's gonna be most people there.
Right.
So yeah, national shows, and if you work it right, you can get paid. If you're a new band, take any show you can to get your name out there. So yeah, there's pros and cons to all of them, but you can play national shows and get paid,
Yes.
We did the Puddle of Mud show at Harpo's, and I think we walked out of that show with like $800 or something like that.
We did the Puddle of Mud show at Harpo's.
Yeah. That was that big,
it was Roosevelt's first show.
Yeah.
His new owner. Yeah. And, we had to sell like 50 tickets, man. I think I sold we had to go back and get more, almost 75 to 100 tickets for that show.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
So you raked in some serious dough.
So we made some money, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, make sure you negotiate your shit, and you can have the best of all the worlds. So there it is, our nuts and bolts and harsh truths. Thank you to Jamie from Dallas, Texas for that. Let me go back to the chat real quick. Bob Sergat says, I bet Port Huron would have liked Leonard Skinnerd. They probably would have. That's that kind of clientele, I guess. Bob Sergat says, CD release party. This is good crowds, no pay to play. That's another good one. If you can get on a CD release, it's, for any band, it's typically their biggest show. They're going to put the most effort into promoting it because they're going to want people there. CD release shows, bands' first shows, those are usually more packed than the rest, So if it's a good band and, the guys, the band's first show will be good, or a reunion show or a farewell show, those are kind of like the biggest shows in a band's career, I guess. So yeah, get on those. Steve Engel with hockey stuff. Tampa Bay Lightning is really putting the boots to the Toronto Maple Leafs. Tampa is up 3-0 halfway through the first period. That's awesome. That local guitarist, Aaron Lumsden, we'll be talking to him in a little bit. Always negotiate. Always negotiate. Yes, that's what we were saying. Always negotiate. Because that's the thing, as a promoter, I've done it, where I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna, it's horrible to say it. Mostly when I was first starting, I'm like, okay, I'm going to kind of try to stick it to the bands a little bit, to make me some dough. But if a band would come up to me and be like, hey, I know tickets are $10 at the door and you're only giving us $1 a ticket or $1 a head. If we're headlining, can we get 2 or 3? I'll usually be like, okay, kind of stuff like that. So it's really easy to negotiate. Promoters and all that, it's the thing. They want to make as much money for themselves and leave themselves room just in case the show goes to shit, and so they're not coming out of their pocket. Like I did a couple nationals, like C-list nationals when I was at the Detroit pub, and like $600-$700 bands. And, you know, I'd book the locals and all that. And, you know, I'm like, okay, I have to pay this band $500. That means I'm going to need 50 people in the door before I break even, you know? So, and then a band would be like, hey, and then after that, you know, it's kind of whatever, but band would be like, well, you know, I know you got to sell the 50, but what if, since we're direct support and, you know, we're going to bring people, can you just give us $1 a ticket? So that way you need 60 people in the door and then we just get the $1. And it's usually fine. I'd be like, that's cool, whatever.
Right.
You know, so don't be afraid to negotiate. It's a deal. It's a thing. A lot of promoters will do it. Mostly if you're a band that promoter really wants, they'll be more prone to, and the promoter knows you can bring people.
Mm-hmm.
They'll be more prone to negotiating with you because they want your band, they want your people there, so they'd be more willing to negotiate. So there we go. Okay, so what else? We have our Pumped or Done Band of the Week. We're going to be getting to in a few minutes here. We have our Beer of the Week, and in the 8 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking to Aaron Lumsden, that local guitarist, lead guitar player for Asylence. He does it all. 3 kids, so he's a dad, a husband, plays in Asylence, does music videos, does recording, pictures. He is the multimedia dude. He's the guy you want to go to.
I think I actually bought my amplifier from him off of Marketplace like a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, my PV Ultra Plus. I know I did. I remember.
Well, there it is. So, yeah, we'll be talking to him. You know, he's a busy guy. We had him scheduled probably about a month or so ago, but busy dude, and we had to reschedule. And now we finally got him on here. We're going to be talking to him in the 8 o'clock hour. Hopefully Zoom works. I'm always sketchy with Zoom, but hopefully it works and we can talk to him. So, yeah, let's get to our Pump It or Dumb Band of the Week. This is a band out of San Antonio, Texas, called Saving Jackie. If you're into rock, rap rock, and metal, you might dig these guys. They just put out a 7-song album in 2021 called It's Critical. Lead single off that album is called My Faith is Larger. Find these guys, facebook.com/savingjackie101 or savingjackie.net. Info on these guys: entering into a new era in 2019, the 3 former members of Jackie on Acid, killer band name, reunited with a new vibe to create Saving Jackie, a rap rock group with a message of redemption for a new life. It sounds very churchy. Does it sound a little churchy?
Yeah, kind of.
Oh, man. So if we talk to these guys, we can't be like, God damn it. They'd be like, ooh, sinner. For fans of Rage Against the Machine, but female fronted, you might be into these guys. So we're going to listen to them. Last week, we had the Petty Cassettes, the one that you don't like about touching the boy or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
You'll be happy to know it only got 3 votes. So I think that's going to be the last time we ever hear of the Petty Cassettes.
Yeah.
So we are going to get into, oh God, I gotta go to this one. We're gonna get into Saving Jackie and their song, My Faith is Larger. We're gonna come back, Beer of the Week, and then we'll come back from that, talk to Aaron Lumsden from Asylence, play some music from them. Are you a fan of Asylence?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Okay. All right. Are you just saying that? It kind of be like,
come on, bro.
You don't want to be like, I'm not really a fan. And then we talked to lead guitar player and he's gonna be like, dude, so you bought my amp and you're not even a fan? What a dick.
No, them guys are great, man.
So we're gonna check out some Asylence in a little bit. So right now, Saving Jackie, My Faith is Larger, off their It's Critical 7-song album, facebook.com/savingjackie101, the number 101, or savingjackie.net. So here it is, My Faith is Larger, right now on episode number 136 of the Rikki ROXX Show, right here on ROX100.com.
Jackie, on fire every corner. This time's I wanna
turn that off. There we go. There it is. Saving Jackie out of San Antonio, Texas, and their song My Faith is Larger off It's Critical, their 7-song album released in 2021. Facebook.com/SavingJackie101 or SavingJackie.net. What do you think?
Saving Jackie after that acid trip. No, actually, I thought it was pretty good for like a rock, rap, Christian kind of deal thingy there. Not too bad.
It was very Rage Against the Machine, but very churchy, I guess. So I'm like, ooh.
I mean, they made it. They tried to make it metal rap. It was all right.
Was it better than the Petty Cassettes and Touching the Boy?
Oh, fuck yeah. I'll give a thumbs up to this one.
Okay, so Saving Jackie, head on over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/rocks100, and scroll down to the Pump It or Dump It Band of the Week post. Give it a thumbs up if you dig it like Larry does, or give it the face if you're like, yo, dog. That ain't for me. Steve Engel in there said, here's some Beastie Boys influence in that sound a little bit. I definitely get that. Yeah. I got a lot of Larry Smith in there, a lot of the fast words and shit like that. I'm like, that takes some skill to be able to, spit dope rhymes like that, So it was really, I actually kind of dug it, like all these bands, like I don't listen to them before I put them on the air,
right?
So it's like, I'll go over to the other computer and I'll kind of like look at the video and with the sound off to see if it's actually decent production. And then I'll just be like, okay, rip it down and put it on here. And, so I heard it for the first time along with everybody else here. It sounded, I dug it, it definitely has that Rage Against the Machine sound.
Yeah.
Definitely cool. So go check them out. Make sure you vote. Facebook.com/rocks100. And while you're here, if you're watching on the YouTube stream, make sure you like and subscribe. We are at 173, I think, subscribers. Make sure you subscribe so that way, anytime we go on the air, you'll be notified on your phone or on your computer and be able to check out some more independent music. So super cool. Now. We're going to get into our beer of the week. This one comes from Steve Engel in Mississauga, Ontario. He sent this over international borders. I'm pretty sure it's illegal to do it, but he did anyway, bucking the law to help support and get international beers into America. This was a tricky one because I could find it's not on like beer websites. That's how kind of underground this is. Like, it's not even on Beer Advocate, it's not on Untapped or anything like that. So I really couldn't find any info on it other than what's on the can. So this comes from Norse Brewery out of Noble, Ontario. This is their Maibach, 6.3% ABV. This is a lager beer. I don't know what that is. It's also, I'm assuming 473 milliliters is the equivalent of a pint.
I guess.
I'm guessing this is Canadian.
So Canadian.
They're on a different metric system, or they're on the metric system. So that's a thing. Reading from the can, Norse Maibach is a combination of Canadian, German, and English malt varieties spiced with German and Canadian UK hops for the floral citrus and black currant undertones, and finished by lager yeast variety for the refreshing and crisp experience of the old style Maibach. So that's super cool. Norse Brewery, Perry Sound Industrial Park, 11 Ritchie Drive, Noble, Ontario, norsebrewery.com. Info on the brewery, because I had a whole different thing on the paper. All natural, carefully crafted beers brewed with no additives. So there's no preservatives and any of that crap in here. This is all natural. No additives or shortcuts in the brewing process. Highest quality ingredients, pure filtered water, patience, and passion for this craft come together to bring you the flavors that can be enjoyed over and over again, whether you're looking for a beer to sip on or pairing for your meal, or in our case, smashing them. Norse beers promise to be a great companion to any occasion. Clean and crisp flavors, subtle undertones that continue to give. Pick up your favorite today and taste the difference. Larry Smith, what do you think on this one?
Best tasting one yet. This isn't bad at all.
Yeah?
No, not bad at all. It's not really bitter. It doesn't really taste skunky to me. Flavor's not bad. It doesn't leave a bad aftertaste.
I'm trying to find where the fuck I put my pen.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Okay, so on a scale of 1 to 10, what are you thinking of this one? Oh, there it is.
I could drink this one.
You can drink that? Wow, that's a first. Usually you leave like half the can there, and don't even drink what's in your glass.
No, this isn't bad.
What do you think? Scale 1 to 10.
I give it an 8.5.
8.5 from Larry Smith. Yeah, this one, it tastes like a beer.
Yeah.
Kind of your more traditional. Let me try it again.
I mean, it tastes better than Budweiser to me. That ain't saying much. But
It kind of has, kind of that Leinenkugel kind of taste, kind of that lemony.
Maybe that's why I like
summer kind of deal, like summer shandy kind of Leinenkugel deal going on. You kind of get that taste of like the summer shandy Leinenkugel kind of bit going on, kind of mixed with the taste of I guess your typical, like Molson or your typical beer. It's kind of I don't know if I'm going to be able to go 8.5 on this one, but.
Well, it's easy for me, because I'm not a beer drinker. But
shit,
if I can drink a beer,
he's going full bore. He's like, all right, I'm going to be able to drink this whole thing.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Good pick, Steve.
Yeah, Steve, you actually picked a beer that Larry actually likes. Me, on the other hand, I'm not a huge fan of that summer shandy kind of lemony kind of beers. I'm going to go a 6.5 on it, but with that said, the taste that they do have that is in this beer is great. If this was like a Leinenkugel or something like that, I'd give it like a 3.
Right.
But I got to give them props for the natural ingredients, no additives and all that. So you're not getting the, whatever sugars they put in there and make sure the beer can sit and for long periods of time. And I'm assuming since this is a smaller brewery, they kind of brew their beers to be drank somewhat soon. Their beers probably aren't sitting for months and months and months.
Right.
Like when people buy, when party stores and all that buy Budweiser, that Budweiser can sit there for months and still taste the same. Yeah. This would be one of those beers, I'm assuming, because it's all natural and there's no additives and all the preservatives, that if this was a beer that was going to sit around for a month, 2 months, it would get nasty and skunky and rotting, kind of thing,
Right.
that it would taste horrible and things would start coagulating in there. But so this is a beer that's made to be drank pretty soon after it's brewed. I'm going to actually see if it has. Yeah. Okay. Well, this one was packaged in September of last year. So it's, is that right? 14. I can't really read it, but
8 months.
So, so it has been sitting for a little bit, but what does yours say, like 14/9/21 or something?
14/89/21.
Okay, so I'm late. I don't know what the hell it is. Usually it has your packaging thing on there. It's 2021. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of those beers. You're not gonna be able to have it sit for months and years, like Budweiser and all that. So yeah, the taste that they do have is really good for this kind of beer. It's all natural and filtered water and all that, which from what I heard, if you use filtered water, you won't get a hangover. And if it's natural and doesn't have the preservatives, you won't get a hangover. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I pretty much just smash whatever I drink and just take some ibuprofen when I get home and I'll be fine. But what I've heard is that when there's no additives and everything's natural like this, you won't get a hangover because you don't have the preservative sugars and all that crap in there. Yeah. So this is definitely a beer. I don't know how much Steve paid for this. And he just said Norse Breweries is located in the middle of a forest. So it's in the middle of the forest. And he said the cost on this is $4 Canadian per can. So I don't know what the exchange rate is on that. I don't know how much that is in American money in real dollars. I don't know if it's like $3 or $5, but it's somewhere in that range. If you can find it, I doubt you're gonna be able to find this anywhere if the brewery's in the middle of the fucking forest, but in Canada, so you're probably not gonna be able to find it. Right. But if you do stumble across it and you want kind of one of those summery, hang out in the backyard, this is one of those beers. If you're mowing the lawn, this is a beer to have. It's a refreshing. It is very crisp. It's it tastes like a summer beer to me.
It doesn't have usually the beer that I don't like. I can't acquire the taste for beer. I never have. Mm-hmm. Because it's either I don't know if it's the barley or the hops, whatever makes it taste really skunky to me. But this is like a Mick Ultra to me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. All right.
I mean, I can drink this one.
Okay. So yeah, there it is. Norris Maibach of Norris Brewery in Noble, Ontario, in the middle of the forest in the woods of Canada. If you're ever in the area, pick it up. So we are coming up on 8:00. I need to go over here and change the music videos, get some Asylence up in here, and we're going to be getting very heavy metal. I don't know where I downloaded that to. Where the hell did it go? Yeek. This is not good. Okay, so I gotta re-download it again. Okay, I'm gonna throw a song on and then figure out where the heck it all went. Since we're getting into metal, let's play The Convalescence and play that. I'm gonna re-download the music video and get that on here. I made a huge boo-boo. It happens. So here it is. We're going to play some Convalescence, their song Reflections, and I'm going to figure out this music video issue, and we'll be right back. Episode number 136 of the Rikki ROXX Show, Rocks100.com.
Just like I do, and every time I'm near you, I see you burn like I do. Can you feel it now? Can you feel it now? You made your life like this. Your decisions were too impulsive. Scars wrapped around your wrist. Without pain, how can life exist? I hear you screaming and you can't get out. Let me out, let me out, let me out. I hear you
All right, we are back. That was Asylence and My Legacy. And we are going to try to get Aaron Lumsden on here and talk to him. He is waiting. Let's see if this all works. All right. Aaron, how are you doing? Turn the volume up. Volume.
I'm doing pretty good.
Oh, there he is. How you doing, brother?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. We can see you. Everything is golden. How you doing, brother?
Good. How about yourself?
Doing just fine. You're a busy man, and we're going to get right into it. You know, you play lead guitar in Asylence. We just saw the video for My Legacy. You do video production. You do photography. You do recording. My question is, why? Why do you saddle yourself with all of that stuff?
I mean, it wasn't really intentional. A lot of it's just kind of been like a pursuit of passion that's just continually evolved.
Okay, so it was like one of those things where it's like, yo, I'm in a band and we got to get all this stuff done eventually, and rather than having to pay somebody to do it, let me just learn to do it myself kind of thing.
Pretty much.
All right, okay. So take us through. You know, a lot of people know your videos. You know, you've done a lot of them, and take us through. You know, when you get a music video that you have to do, take us through how much work goes into putting together the music videos that you do, because your music videos that you put out, you know, as we just saw with My Legacy, very pro. You know, it's not back when I was younger doing music videos and somebody had the new iPhone and just like, okay, let's shoot on the iPhone and kind of try to edit it the best we can and schlub some music over it. You know, your stuff is very, very pro, and you got, you know, all the top-notch gear and all this. How much time does it take to produce a music video? Something a lot of people maybe don't know, that it's got to take a lot of time.
I mean, a lot of it kind of depends on the video. Like the My Legacy one, that was something, it wasn't real extravagant. It looks nice. It's got good lighting and stuff, but that was something we did right where I'm sitting now, actually. So that one was relatively simple. Most of them, like the Nethergate video just came out Friday, with a story and all that stuff. That takes a lot more. A lot of it just comes down to like having a good plan, understanding what the story is going to be, what the band's trying to say with it and stuff, and come up with kind of like a concise, you know, plan for everybody to work around. And that way, you know what you're trying to do.
So how much are you into, you know, when there's a story rather than just, you know, a band playing in a room with fancy lights? When you're trying to make a storyline, how involved are you in that? Or does the band kind of already know what they want to do?
I mean, I would really say that depends on the video. Some bands are, some people really know what they want, and they've like already got basically a storyboard mostly completed. And those ones are a lot easier for me because, I mean, I just kind of have to bring their vision to life, as opposed to, you know, if somebody's just got a rough idea, then you've got to kind of hash that out with them.
So, you know, you've done a couple of these, you know, music videos. What's been the hardest one, and how long did it take you to edit it and put it all together?
I think the hardest one was actually one I did with Jeff King for the Caudle Brothers. They did like for the Metroid Prime video game, a medley, and we built like a whole set for it and everything. And the prep work and all the stuff that went into that one, like that was by far the most involved video we've done.
Okay, so
that I've been involved with, I should say.
So how much time did it take from start to finish? If you had to put, you know, if you were one of those guys that charged by the hour, you know, you're a lawyer, you're charging by the hour. How many hours of work would you think you put into that one?
Oh, that would have been easily over 100 hours.
Ooh, Jesus. Okay, wow. So 100 hours you put into this for a video. How do you fit it? You know, how do you have time to do this? Because you're a dad and you're in a band and you have all this other stuff going on. And it's like me, you know, I'm a dad of 2 kids and I'm in one band and I don't even promote shows anymore. I'll do like one a year, and that's a lot for me. How do you find the time to do this? How do you juggle, you know, being a dad, being a guitarist in a heavy metal band, a proggy metal band, putting 100 hours into a music video that's not even yours, it's a different band, and recording? How do you find the time?
You know, it's funny because like I'm actually really bad with time management sometimes. If I have free time, I will just not get stuff done. So I find I'm way more productive if I just stay really busy. And it's crazy. You know, I'm fortunate because, you know, with Asylence, you know, everybody has a family. So it's a lot more, you know, chill approach to the whole thing. So that goes a long way in being able to do everything, is that I don't have a ton of huge commitments as far as like weekly responsibilities to the band.
So are you a guy that also has like a 9 to 5? Do you go to work every day?
No.
I was going to say.
Yeah, I did that up until the COVID era. And then my wife got done with school, and fortunately she got a job that paid much more than I was making. So what did Aaron Lumsden, you know, this multimedia mogul, you know, before all this, what were you doing? What was your 9 to 5? So the last thing that I was doing, which actually Larry met me there when he bought that.
I thought I did. I knew it. I'm like, I know that's Aaron.
So I was doing like data entry, fabrication, welding, machining, shipping coordination, stuff like that at that job. It was a small shop, so, you know, you wore a lot of hats. I worked at an automotive factory before that, and then I was a cook for a while, actually. So.
Geez, so this guy literally does it all. He can cook, he can fabricate things for you, he can make you music videos, he can record your album, he can take pictures, and he can pack a house with his band.
And sell you amplifiers.
So let's talk about Asylence for a little bit. You know, you guys came out with a record, I believe it was right before COVID hit, I believe. And you know, take us through, you know, starting the band, and you know, how do you find Ryan Lang? You know, how do you find, you know, because he's a beast on vocals.
Oh my God!
How do you find these guys and put together? Because I'm gonna say it, I'm not a huge metal guy. You know, it's beyond the realm of my abilities as a musician to play what the guys in Asylence do, and I just get jealous every time I see bands like that. I'm like, God, it must be nice to be able to know how to play an instrument, you know. And you know, how do you find all the pieces to put this band together?
Dumb luck. I have no better answer than dumb luck.
So where do you meet these guys? You know, because I'd like to know where you find these badass musicians and singers. You know, because I'm in Casting Shadowz. You know, that's the best I got. You know, where do you meet these guys?
I'm pretty sure that like all of us, like everybody who's ever played with Asylence, has either been through Craigslist or like a Facebook group kind of thing.
So what do you put in these ads? Like thrashing heavy metal guitarist, prog influenced, looking for the best lead singer, heavy metal lead singer in town. I don't get it. What do you put in these ads?
We got super lucky when we found Ryan because Alex and Sean, because he was one of the original members, they knew Ryan from other projects and stuff. He was working a really funky schedule then, but we weren't trying to like go out and do shows right away and stuff. And we got together and like started writing a song the first day, and it just kind of like it clicked into to a point. And it's obviously evolved a lot since then, but dumb luck is the only reason that it's worked. Like on paper, it should not work.
And you kind of mentioned it in passing, but I like going down this route whenever it gets kind of brought up. You know, you brought up, former members of the band. You know, take us through, because people never see that side or hear about that side of a band. They just kind of see, oh, this guy's gone, there's a new guy. And, take us through what happens. Did you fire guys or did they just quit? Take us through, your member changes.
Well, I mean, I think the biggest one was just, you might know, Sean DeMura. He was like the original bass player with me and Alex, and we were kind of just jamming. And I mean, the music was a lot different then. And there wasn't, really anything, major that happened. Just, everybody starts getting involved with different projects and people start doing different things. So we ended up getting Rick, our bass player now, which I think was from a Craigslist ad. It was just a heavy melodic band seeks, bass player with decent gear. And somehow we found Rick.
Jeez,
I found Dave. Bandmix.com.
Okay, so is that the only change you guys have had? Was the of course bass player?
We actually had a second guitar player for a while, and he had some stuff going on, and it just wasn't really working super well at the time. So, and we've been looking for another guitar player forever. But finding someone who fits in that, like, it's serious, but also a very lax approach. That's really hard to find somebody who's wanting to do that, because most people are either one way or the other.
So I'm gonna name drop a name because I know a guy that jammed with you a couple times, and I'm gonna name drop him, and you tell me what went wrong. Okay. This is
you're gonna put me on the spot like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it because I know the guy. He's a great singer, and he's also a really good guitar player. I was jamming with him for a hot minute. Phil Winkler. Phil Winkler.
Phil, it's 100% always just been like a scheduling thing.
Okay, because I was jamming with him right before I joined Casting with him and Stacy, and he told me, he's like, hey, well, the guys from Asylence, kind of hit me up, asked if I wanted to come out. And did you guys jam at all or anything like that, or didn't go anywhere farther than text messages?
Oh no, me and Phil got together a couple times. I think I don't think it ever went as far as like getting the whole band together to play something. because it's hard to learn stuff on the spot like that. I can't learn music that way. I need to be able to like kind of practice and digest it. But no, I mean, just scheduling never really, it's hard when you've got 4 people with families and, jobs and all this stuff going on to actually get everybody together.
Right.
That it makes it really hard to bring somebody else into the fold into that.
Right. So you guys, all that sound, is coming from one guitar player, bass player, singer, drummer. Take us through, because I know you're kind of a gear guy, take us through how you guys get that kind of sound, because, I've seen you guys live. We've heard the songs. It sounds very big for a 4-piece kind of deal, and you having, I'm assuming, recorded all of this, how do you get, for guys like me or one guitar player bands, how do you make such a big sound out of so few people?
Well, so the first, like the EP that the Legacy videos from, I didn't record that. We recorded that one with Matt Dalton.
Okay.
The new stuff, like the video I sent you, that's all stuff I recorded. The big thing for me, I mean, like, obviously, like it's pretty standard that you double your guitar tracks.
Right.
You record 2 of them. As far as like for live though, that to me is where I really like using a digital rig, because I can send a stereo signal, slightly different tone to the left and the right side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not as nice as having 2 guitars. Like, you're never gonna completely fulfill that. But you do that and make sure you kind of just, scoop those right frequencies, around where you want to let the bass guitar come through, and stuff. Try and do as much of the, the sound engineer's work for him before you get to the show.
All right. Well, there, as simple as that. So, got another fucking ant. God damn. I have an ant problem here. I'm sure you heard my thing where I found a pile of ants underneath my mixing board, and I have no idea where they came from. So, take us through, Asylence is, like any other band, you started from nothing, and now you've kind of built, that band, up, you guys have fans, you have people that come out to your shows. I went to, I think it was your CD release at Diesel that you did. And, explain, for bands out there, musicians who are kind of struggling to get people into their band. We've all been there where we're playing endless amounts of shows and don't understand why more than 3 people don't come out to see your band. How has Asylence kind of gone about, growing the fan base and keeping people engaged in the band?
I mean, I think some of it is just, like not playing too many shows, not going to, you're not playing the same club every, month, especially nowadays, because since COVID's happened, like there's really not that many venues around anymore to play for smaller bands like us. So between that and in today's age where like everything's based on social media and stuff, like that's why we've always tried to pay a lot of attention to videos and stuff, is that way if somebody sees that your band's playing and they're like, oh, well, I'm going to look, there's a band they want to see, or your friend's band. And, so you're going to look at some of the other bands, and having something like nice to show them that's like actually enjoyable. Enjoyable is subjective, but like the qualities.
Right. Right. You don't want the crappy iPhone videos and stuff like that. So who's the big social media maven in your band? Because every band has that guy who's kind of more, the more social media privy, where he's like, hey guys, maybe we should, put some time into TikTok, or we got to really stay up on our Twitter, and we need to sponsor ads. We need to post more on Facebook. We need more content. Who's that guy?
typically Ryan. Alex does a lot of our Instagram stuff. I absolutely hate doing the whole social media thing. Like, I love to make stuff for it, all the content and everything, but like, I don't want to actually go through the process of, the posting and doing all that stuff. So yeah, Ryan and Alex definitely do the majority of that.
So on the other side, I think you kind of already answered it. Who's the one guy in the band who is the most inept at social media? Who's the guy who's like, I don't know Facebook, bro. I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't, it asks what I'm thinking and I don't know what to put. Who's that guy?
That would probably, they're probably either myself or Rick.
Okay. All right. So you guys, you have that newer-ish album out. What are you guys looking to do next? Because every band, at least that I talk to or have been in, you kind of have, the next goal. When you first start, it's like, okay, we don't want to open and we don't want to play at 1 a.m. anymore. If we can get a 9, 10 o'clock spot, that's our first goal, and once you get that, you're like, okay, well, we're doing 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we're playing prime spots. Now let's see if we can't get on some bigger shows, and then you get to that. It's like, okay, we're doing pretty well. We're moving forward. Now it's time to record an album. You do your album, or singles, you do your, your videos, you do all this, and then at some point you start thinking, well, maybe it's time to get out of town and let the bird fly, and see how it goes. You guys have done a couple out of towners. You guys have done some stuff outside, I guess, the Detroit scene. What's the next big goal? What's the next big goal for you guys?
I mean, immediately, I think it's just getting the album out, which is pretty much done. But then, yeah, I think some out of town shows and stuff. When we're able to get everybody together and schedule one and stuff, like you don't want to play the same spot all the time. So if you can get on the right show out of town, I think that's definitely what would be next on the agenda.
Okay, so is there anywhere in particular that you're like, oh man, I really want to play this place in Chicago? Or is there any cities that you're kind of like, we definitely need to go here when we do make that step? Tricky question.
And I feel like I'm gonna, watch this tomorrow or whatever and be like, well, why didn't you say this or whatever? But I mean, if it's a decent venue and there's good people there, then like it's all good.
Easy enough. Okay, so your next goal is to start branching out a little bit. Maybe do Ohio, maybe do Indiana, Illinois, something like that. Or play Northern Michigan or something like that, Traverse City or wherever the hell there's venues anymore. Has there been any type of, hey, what if we do Ohio, Indiana, Kentucky? What if we do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Or has any band hit you up, be like, hey, what if we do this together and do a Thursday, Friday, Saturday? Has that been talked about or entertained? Is that something you guys want to do? Take us through, that, I guess, next big step on, after you get out of town, next big step in taking your band further and being out longer.
Yeah, I think like short weekend runs and stuff like that with other bands would probably be the first step. Because if you're going to take the time to do that, and you guys know you've done that, taking your gear out of town that far and stuff and everything, like it costs money to do it and everything, so you want to make sure you do it right. And not just like, oh, we're able to get this show at that we don't know anyone there, we don't know anything about the place, but they're willing to let us play.
Right.
To take 4 people, and especially if you're doing like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday like that or whatever, it's like eventually somebody's still taking a couple days off of work somewhere.
Right.
Normally.
And gas being fucking $4.50 a damn gallon, it costs a lot of money to get from point A to point B.
That's a very good point too. So it's hard, but I think that's definitely, the way we would approach that, is kind of, just dip your toes in the water a little bit at first.
So there, and we have Kyle Aris from obscured state of Michigan. He's been chiming in a little bit. He said Asylence is playing it right, building demand for their product by not playing every weekend somewhere and limiting your chances to see them makes you want to come out. Has that been something, because I know every band at some point has kind of fallen into that, oh my God, we're getting all these show offers now with all these cool bands, and I asked Larry this earlier, how do you pick and choose, you guys as a band, when somebody wants Asylence to come out and play, and I'm sure it happens. You guys are probably getting offers left and right for you guys to come out and play. How do you guys pick and choose what's a good show for you guys to do?
I mean, normally it's just like, is everybody available that day? Is nobody working or whatever? Lately, the last since COVID's happened, and even now venues are starting to open back up and shows are going on again and stuff. We've just been trying to grind everything out to the end of the album, which we're pretty much there now. So it unfortunately, it hasn't even really been a choice recently. It's just that, like, we got to get this stuff done, so it doesn't really matter what the show is.
Easy enough. And you mentioned, the album and all this, it takes a lot of time and energy and effort to do an album. And I always ask bands this that are, past their first release, whether it be an EP or an album or whatever. Why? Why did you guys decide, hey, now is the time for us to do another record? Why do one at all and take all that time to do it? And why now?
I guess that just kind of seemed like the next logical step. We had already had a bunch of other material written after the EP was done. The CD release show went really well and everything. That was a lot of fun. It just kind of, it's like, we did a single, we did an EP. Okay, we'll go ahead and do an album.
So it's just kind of one of those things. We have the songs, might as well get them recorded and put them out, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, in today's, day and age, like for bands, everybody knows that like the single format is definitely the way to go.
Right. So, going into this, you guys are doing an album. So I'm assuming it's going to be, more an EP, more than 4 or 5 songs, you're 7, 8, 9, whatever they are. How are you guys going to go about, because depending on who you talk to, my old co-host, Kevin Raslog, he was the big proponent of singles and staggering releases and banking all this content, have it be music videos or whatever, where if you have 4 songs that you're planning on doing music videos for, get it recorded, get all the music videos done, and have them in your back pocket so you don't have to worry about them, every couple months. They're just all there and you get it all done at once. How are you guys approaching this album? Are you going to put it out and then, do music videos as you go, or have you already started doing music videos and you're just going to kind of stagger them out? How are you guys going across? How are you guys coming at this?
Well, I mean, we've already got one music video shot and done. So, hopefully in the next, hopefully in the next couple months, we'll have another one done.
Okay. So how many video do you guys, I'm assuming you guys already know what songs you're going to be doing music videos for. And, how many music videos are going to come off this album?
One for every song.
Okay, so every single song is going to have a music video and all this, so there's going to be a lot of content coming from Asylence in the pretty near future. You said that the album is pretty much done. What needs to be, what's left? What's left to do on the album before it's done?
Just a couple, maybe a vocal line here or there, or just an overdub here or there.
Okay, so small stuff. So it's pretty much ready to be sent out.
Yeah.
All right, Larry, do you have any questions? You're sitting there very quietly. I know everybody loves the gun show and all this, but
I got a buzz off this.
He's got a buzz off half a beer. Okay.
Well, I've been drinking this apple pie too. So.
Oh, that's right. I haven't had any of that apple pie yet. What do you got for me? We were talking. Larry and I were talking before the show, and I was like, and during the show, are you a fan of Asylence? And he's like, fuck yeah, dude, they're fucking killer. Anything you want?
I saw there was a little hesitation there.
No, I mean, you guys got anything coming up? Any shows booked? Anything going on like that?
I mean, the biggest thing right now, we're just trying to figure out, I guess, when the album's going to come out so we can get everything else done. But we're working on practices and stuff. That way we can actually start booking some shows.
Right. So nothing until the albums comes out, pretty much.
Well, we're at the point where that stuff's, I mean, it's more logistical stuff, so we can focus on putting the stage show back together, so to speak, because we've only had a handful of practices in the last 6 months that we've actually jammed. So
right.
We need a little bit of time to get everything back in sync.
Right on.
Did you say you sent me some video or something like that? Because I'm going through all my emails and I can't see anything you sent me anywhere.
I sent you our new music video.
Where's it at? Where'd you send it?
It's in the messenger chat we have.
Oh, I thought you sent it to an email or something like that.
No, I just sent you the link to it. Which don't post that, obviously.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah, you did. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's here. Okay, so we'll play that.
Well, don't play you can play grab 20 seconds out of the middle.
There you go.
It's not out yet, so don't ruin it.
Don't ruin it.
It's all right. No, nobody's watching. Nobody's gonna see it. It's fine. This is just between us three, guys. It's just between us three. Ain't nobody gonna see this. So yeah, I'll play a couple seconds of it before the end of the show. And so the new music video that I just found is "Endanger Us All." So can you take us through this song and take us through this album, because is this an album that's a concept record kind of thing where all the songs kind of go together, or is it kind of one of those things that's like, God, it's all over the place. These songs have nothing to do with each other. Take us through this new album.
There's very much a common theme throughout the message and lyrics in the songs, more on Ryan's end. Musically, I mean, it's kind of like everything else we've done. It's a little bit all over the place. It's all heavy, but there's some thrashy stuff. There's some very modern stuff on there, and then I mean, there's even little, some parts where it's it's very black metal kind of stuff.
So is this album going to be something that is going to sound familiar to Asylence fans, or are you guys taking any weird left turns here where it's whoa, where are they going with this? Are you, is there anything on this album where it's I would not have expected this from Asylence?
I mean, honestly, I would say both.
Okay, so, on this...
there's definitely some weird left turns in there, but I don't think it's anything that's too out of character compared to some of the other stuff we've done. So,
have you guys ever talked at practice or putting songs together, be like, hey guys, maybe now's the time we do our Black album and kind of just leave this thrash thing behind and become a rock band? Shave all our heads. Just shave our heads and let's wear some bow ties and do some new wave. Has there been has anybody even joke and been like, maybe let's do our Black Album and completely sell out.
Let's be honest. Anybody who's been doing this for a little while has had that conversation before. Everybody's thought about it.
So if you were going to make that left turn, Aaron Lumsden, phenomenal guitar player, you're gonna take that left turn. You're gonna take that left turn. You're gonna surprise everybody. If you were gonna do it, what would you do? These are questions you're never going to get asked again. I'm just curious. If you're going to take that left turn and blow everybody's mind and be like, whoa, what the hell is he doing? Would you go country? Would you start bringing in some pianos and do a piano song? Would you be like, yo, let's get a rapper on here. Let's introduce some dubstep, If you're going to take a left turn, what would your left turn be? I'm kind of trying to get into what's...
Have Ryan do some opera.
A lot of those would not be left turns to me. Any of the things you're, writing with pianos or synths or anything, I love doing all that stuff. It's just, we haven't quite gotten there production-wise yet, so...
So let's ask the big question. This has been very big in rock and metal as of late. Backing tracks. What are your thoughts? Because there's been a lot of, the singer can't quite hit it the way he used to, and so there's a backing track just in case he loses his breath, or there's, a hidden guitar track just in case the rhythm guitar player decides to get fucked up that night. They can turn him off and there's something else going in the background, and then kind of on the more, I guess, more acceptable side is, having, if you have the song with one song with a synth on it, having that play in the back, what's kind of your take on backing tracks and, in that whole bit?
Well, I mean, I'm actually glad that you brought that stuff up because I was getting ready to say it's like there's a, to me, like a backing track is, if you have a synth going on in the background, or maybe you have a saxophone or, some kind of classical instrument, that's in one song. You're not bringing that person on tour with you all the time to play one song. Whereas like if you have, background vocals and stuff going on, that's kind of almost more of like a performance track. So I have kind of mixed feelings on that stuff. We've actually been playing around with backtracking some rhythm guitars just because we don't have a second guitar player. And there's a lot more lead stuff on the new album. So trying to figure out a way to work, around that. If you don't have someone to play those parts, then everything gets real empty. So it's one of those things where I feel like it's almost, if you want a modern production, it's kind of key to be able to cue in even just certain elements, sound effects in between tracks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like having your parts, being played for you, that's kind of sketchy.
Right. Okay, so we got, it looks like my Zoom thing's about to die on me. Do you have anything to throw out there to any Asylence fans out there before, because I guess this is a new thing. Zoom will only let you talk for about 40 minutes and then it kicks you off. Because I'm getting all these things now. You have less than a minute. So we might have to try getting you back. We'll see how it goes. But if we can't, what do you have to say that we haven't covered yet?
I mean, the biggest thing, just, thank you to everybody who's, supported us, bought something, listened to the music, shared stuff. I mean, that, means.
Yeah, there it is. It cut. Okay. All right. Let me see if I can do this again. I'm gonna try to get him back on here. I just all of a sudden got this thing where it's like, oh, you have less than a minute left. So I'm going to see if I can get Aaron back on here and talk to him, see if I can open a new meeting and all this and see if we can get him back. I hate I hate this stuff. All right, so I'm going to see if I can get him back on here and talk to him for a couple more minutes. So while we're trying to get him back on there, let me just send him a text. It kicked you out. What are kind of your takeaways so far from our talk with Aaron?
What are my takeaways?
Yeah, like some things that you might have learned or something that you picked up in it.
Well, I mean,
I think we maybe got him back.
There he is.
He's there, but he's not showing up here. Oh, Lordy. All right. Aaron, can you hear us at all, Aaron?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. You can hear me, but I just can't see you on here, so we can hear you. So continue with what you were saying. I don't know why the video is not popping up. I hate Zoom.
Hold on a second. I got to mute the YouTube video. Okay, there we go. Got
okay.
It. And, hearing you talk twice is very. So what were we talking about?
You know, because Zoom kind of cut you out, and we're not getting any video of you now, but we can still hear you. You know, what were you? You know, I was kind of trying to wrap it up, and under that minute, obviously, didn't happen. What were you talking about before Zoom inappropriately cut us off?
Oh, I mean, just the biggest thing that I would have to say to anybody is just, like, thank you for, anybody that's bought our stuff, listened to it, came to shows, shared it. Like, it really means the world, like, when people, support you like that.
And, and all these, when did you start? When did Asylence start? What year was that?
I think it was technically like 2015.
Okay, so you guys have been around for a long time as far as a band. Is there any show that kind of sticks out in your mind where it's like, man, this was the best show Asylence has ever done?
We played one of the pizza shows that John Collier did.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was pretty wild.
So take us through that, because that was a big thing that John Collier did at Hot Rock. For the most, I think it was all Hot Rock or the Ritz. Huge shows and all this. Take us through the infamous pizza shows, because people miss that show like crazy. Take us through why that's such a crazy show.
I mean, I really don't even know why it's that way. But there was a girl that got kicked in the face while we were playing, and I was like, Jesus, this is, I'd never seen stuff like that before. But I've come to learn that apparently that's pretty popular with a lot of hardcore bands and stuff. So
right. All right, so that would be a something that would stick out in my head. If somebody got
it's
punted in the face,
you normally see,
right?
Playing metal shows,
right? So there, I'm assuming there was a crap ton of people there. People were going freaking crazy, and a girl got punted in the face, and it was a thing. So. Moving forward, the last thing I really have to ask is, if all the cards worked out in your favor, and the stars aligned perfectly, where would you like to see Asylence in 5 years?
Oh, I mean, more successful, but honestly, kind of doing some of the stuff that we're doing right now.
And that's the thing. What does success? Yeah, this is getting into one of those weird motivational speaker things. What does
that's a very relative concept.
Yeah, what does success mean to you? Because for a lot of people, success is just continuing and being a band, and keeping it going, recording new music and doing more stuff. To some people, success is selling out stadiums. To some people, it's, hey, it's cool if we could go out a couple weekend runs a year. What is success to you?
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, it would be awesome to sell out stadiums, but I don't know, to us, I mean, I guess it would just be being able, if you wanted to go do like a decent, small little tour or whatever with some other bands, and have a good draw on that. Like, and even just, like venues like the Diesel and stuff like that. Like if you wanted to take off for a week and that those shows would all sell well or whatever, like that would be like success.
So it's for you guys, it's a relatively low bar. You're not, it would be great to play stadiums and make millions of dollars where you'd be like, babe, you ain't got to work anymore. We're moving to Malibu, baby. But for you, success is, doing, 400 or 500 seaters and having people in there and doing, your weekend runs.
I feel like that any band that can do that, like you're definitely successful over probably 85% of the other bands that are ever started. Not a lot of people make it to that level even.
And another thing, you're a big supporter of independent bands. What's some of your favorite bands that people should go check out?
Independent. That's a
Detroit bands that you've shared stages with, where maybe somebody from Steve Engel from Mississauga, Ontario. What are some bands that if he's into Asylence, he might be into these bands as well?
That's only tricky just because, like, man, so many like bands have stopped playing in the last couple of years. So like a lot of the immediate ones, like the guys in the After the Minor were always really cool. From Blue to Gray, I don't think is a thing anymore. The guys in Absorbed were awesome. It's one of those things where, like, man, I couldn't even tell you who's active right now anymore as far as like metal and doing stuff like what we do. Hate Unbound, I know, is still doing stuff.
Yeah.
Those guys are really heavy. They have some really good stuff.
Yeah. Wow, I didn't think this would be that trivia question. I'm thinking Aaron's just going to rattle off bands left and right here. Well, you got to check out this band from Lansing, this band from Port Huron, this band from Detroit, this band from the east side, this band from the west side.
We'll see, it is shitty because now I look like a total ass. So I mean, a couple of them I will rate, like some of them that I've worked with. Nethergate, those guys were super awesome. The Line Within, I wouldn't really call them metal. But they've got like a little bit of heavier vibe. Jason's got like
Jason Kane, the legendary Jason Kane.
They've got some good stuff going on. I would keep an eye out for that.
Okay, so take us, because you did a video with The Line Within, and you were almost going to send it to me, but you didn't. Take us through, when you get a band in that's doing a music video, and they're not, does it? I don't know how to say this. Does it kind of make it more difficult to do a band that you're not used to? If you're doing Asylence videos, you do a video one way. It's heavy, so it's a lot of fast. It's action. Does it kind of throw you off when you're working with a band that's not so kind of thing, and you got to kind of slow it down? Does it make it harder for you?
I 100% working with bands that are not mine, because I don't like being on both sides I don't like being on the artist side and like, the videographer side of it.
Right.
It's like you definitely have a vision for it, but being in control of everything, it's like it's too many buttons to be able to push. You get it, like these ideas, like you get so focused on them that it's hard to convey that to other people,
right?
Because you're not looking at just this aspect of the production like you normally would be. You're looking at all of it.
Right. Okay, so last thing. Let's do this again because you got cut off last time. Where can people check out Asylence? If there was one song that, first, where can people check you guys out? And second, if you were to tell somebody that had never heard of Asylence before to check out one song, what would it be? So there's two questions right there.
Honestly, I would probably say go to YouTube and look up Gasping for Fire.
Gasping for Fire. Is there any reason why that's your go-to?
It's a fairly emotional song. I always really like those. So naturally, that's like what I like to recommend. And it starts off a little bit lighter. And there's some lighter parts in it. So it's not just like slapping you in the face the whole time. It's intense, but it's also, kind of chill in a way.
So it's more easy to get into. That's a good entry level Asylence to get into before you get into the brutal thrash fest.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Okay. And that's fair enough, because we all knew Kelly Tucker, and I had a conversation with him years ago. I'm going to touch on this real quick and then I'll let you go, Aaron. I was like, dude, Kelly, I've never really been into the heavy stuff. I need some entry level, metal, and then that's when he told me, he's like, well, Ricky, you like the gay cock rock thing and guys wearing makeup and you're trying to get into metal, listen to Trivium. That was a band he told me about. He's like, listen to Trivium because there's a lot of that same kind of stuff in there. You have the guitar solos, you can still understand the singer, but it's also metal. And if you can get into them, then you can start branching out into harder stuff if you want to. But he told me Trivium is a good gateway into metal. And he got me into Trivium. And, that kind of branched me into some of the more harder stuff and being able to really appreciate it and all that. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. So Aaron, we're going to let you go. We're going to get you off of here and we're going to play a little bit of that music video for what was the name of that song again?
Dangerous All.
Yes, we're going to play a couple seconds of that because Aaron doesn't want me to blow his load for him. And we're going to do that.
Pop it in about...
I can't do that. I'm going to play it from the beginning. I'm playing it from the beginning.
No, you can't. You can't.
I can't.
No, it's got like a fucking minute-long intro.
Oh, Jesus. Well, we're going to hear 40 seconds of that intro then.
No. You're fucking me all up now.
All right, we'll catch 10 seconds of the intro, then you can get the real beef and potatoes of it when you release it.
There. Pop it in the middle somewhere.
I'll see what I can do.
It'll work. It'll suck either way.
Okay, so Aaron, we're gonna let you go, bro, and everybody out there will get what they get, and it'll be a thing. See, the thing with it is, I have to I had to rip the video from YouTube, so I can't really scrub through it to certain parts. It just kind of plays from the beginning. That's kind of how this rig is set up. So it kind of sucks. Would you rather me not play it?
Yeah, I wouldn't start it from the beginning.
Okay, so we're not going to do that. All right, so we're not going to do that.
Watch it after your show's over, and you'll understand why I don't want you to start it from the begining.
Okay,
it's a whole thing.
All right.
It's fun.
All right, Aaron, we're gonna let you go. We're gonna get out of here and wrap this thing up, dude. Thank you so much for talking to us, and go check out Asylence, that Akuro Productions, that local guitarist. Everything's on YouTube, and great music videos and awesome production. Aaron, thank you so much, brother.
Hey, thank you both so much for having me on here. It's been great talking to you.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon, homie.
Peace.
Later.
Bye. All right. That was the one and only Mr. Aaron Lumsden from the band Asylence. My mom chimed into the chat. Ricky, you look nice in light blue. It's a band t-shirt. It's a unicorn on a tank with a rainbow. Killer band. So what were some of your takeaways from that talk with Aaron?
That Fallen Stronger needs to do some music videos.
So you need to. Have you guys ever done a music video?
A lyric video, but not a music.
Why haven't you guys done a proper music video?
I guess I need the proper guy to do it. I mean, I talked to Bob, the guy who done your guys'.
Yeah.
So we're going to work something out with that.
Okay, so you guys are going to be doing a music video, and you should probably hit up Aaron Lumsden, too. He does great work.
Sure.
And so he told us we can't play any music video because the first minute is just a long-ass intro, so if I would have known that before, I would have edited it more, but it's a thing. So say Happy Mother's Day to me. Happy Mother's Day, Mom. And to all the moms out there, and even the dads out there who are doing the mom job. So happy Mother's Day to everybody out there. Hopefully it was splendid and wonderful and everything. So since we can't play that, we're going to throw, I guess we can throw another different music video on there and to play to close the show out. I have no idea what I want to play. Since he was talking about Jason Kane, we're going to do some Bloodline Riot, I guess.
Oh.
We're going to do some Bloodline Riot. And so next week on the show, we're going to be talking to Rob Kaminsky from the Creeping Chaos. That's going to be super cool, episode number 139. May 22nd, we're going to be finally talking to somebody from the band Wild Ride out of Louisville, Kentucky. May 29th, we're going to be talking to this. I'm so looking forward to this one. Sonny Von Cleveland. He's now a motivational speaker, and he's an entrepreneur out of California now. He used to be a singer and bass player. He played in Grim Trigger out of Ohio. And he spent, I believe it was 9 years in Jackson State Penitentiary, and then got out of prison and went straight, started playing in heavy metal bands and all that. And then he moved out to the West Coast and taken on this new life. He doesn't play in bands anymore, but he knows all about it. He was a show promoter down in Ohio, in Cleveland. And now he's on the West Coast. He's out in California, and he does kind of like, motivational speaking, for people, like he was, that convicted felon, and turned his life around. And now he's starting businesses out in California with his girlfriend, Claire. And we're going to talk to him about, turning your life around if you're in a bad situation, and how to get better with your life. And I think it's gonna be super cool. We can talk about Grim Trigger. We can talk about music with him. And awesome guy. He played my birthday show a couple of years ago. I think you were there. Drag Saw played. It was at Simon's. Super good, cool dude, and ultra supportive of me. He's always been there. Every time I've had to vent to somebody, somebody's like, Ricky, if you ever need to talk, I'm phone call away. So he's a super cool dude. And if I say so myself, quite the sexy man. He's a very tall dude. He's like 6'7".
Holy shit.
Yeah, he's very tall. And, when I was in New Day Revolution, he took a gamble on us with one of his bigger shows, has play the Odeon, which is like the Harpos of Cleveland, and put us on a great spot. And he's like, dude, we didn't fit the bill at all. It was a bunch of metal bands and new metal and stuff like that. And then he throws a bunch of drunks on stage from Detroit. But it was a super cool dude. And we're going to talk to him on May 29th on the show. So super cool. Larry, you got anything before we sign off?
May 13th, Pigweed.
May 13th, Pigweed. So that's going on at Simon's After Dark in Allen Park, the home of the Ricky ROXX birthday blowout.
Yes, sir.
So what do you think there's gonna be more people there than were at my birthday show?
I don't know. I've only played Simon's twice, so.
Okay, fair enough.
Hey, I mean, it's a touring band, so I'm hoping so.
All right. As for Casting Shadowz, I have to pull up the dates because I don't know them, because Jeff Land keeps booking so many of them. We're going to be this Thursday. We're going to be in Kalamazoo, Michigan, playing Ruggers Up and Under. We're doing the whole cover bands, the same thing we did yesterday. Original set, a bunch of covers, and it's going to be a miserable, horrible time. I'm going to hate every minute of that show. And then Friday, we're going to be at the Music Factory in Battle Creek opening for Smile Empty Soul. Tickets are on sale. We got them in hand. And then Saturday, we are playing 21st in Germantown in Louisville, Kentucky. They're bringing us back. So super cool of them. They've been trying to get us back for a while. And Jeff decided now's the time to get down there. And then I'm trying to find a date for this one. Kaleido, there it is. We're going to be playing the Kaleido show on May 29th, I believe it is. Or no, May 27th at Diesel. We're going to be playing with The Line Within, which Aaron talked about, Cyanide and Reckless Abandon, Friday, May 27th at Diesel. $12 in advance. That's gonna be a packed out show. They're only doing they're doing it on the lounge side, so the smaller room, so it's gonna be packed. Line Within, Casting Shadowz, Cyanide, Reckless Abandon opening for Kaleido. Then we are also playing Rock for Vets up in Farwell, Michigan on, God, I don't know these dates. God,
August something, right?
Yeah, it's sometime in August. August 25th, we're playing the Rock for Vets Festival in Farwell, Michigan. And then there's another show we're playing at the Eclectic Room in Angola, Indiana, opening for Hinder. I don't know the date on that one. Tickets are on sale for that one now. We have those in hand as well. So a bunch of shows. I'm tired of them. I just want to get the new record out, dude, and record this thing. So that's what's going on. And as for hosting shows, I have nothing left on. My mom says, Larry, don't talk much.
The beer of the week.
Sure it is.
It's the Death Star.
Yeah, so that's all we got for the show. Like I said, next week, Rob Kaminsky from the Creeping Chaos. Make sure you check out rocks100.com. Donate money. I need money. I need a lot of it. I have a new computer I need to build, so send me all of your dollars in Dogecoin. So we're going to close this thing out with, we had the music video from Bloodline Riot, Jason Kane's older band. I think this was the last music video they did before they broke up. So we're going to close it out with that and the Creeping Chaos and their song All Kinds of Hell. Getting out of here. I got to go to bed, got to go to work in the morning, and I have to finish these beers, and this moonshine is staring me in the face. Ooh, apple pie moonshine. All right, so getting out of here. We'll talk to you guys next week for episode number 139 of the Rikki ROXX Show right here on rocks100.com.
Question goes unanswered today. What do you think of me and what I wanna be? Does it bother you I turned out this way? Decisions lay on me. That's the price I pay to be who I am. My choices irreverent. I don't care, I will take what I can. Close to letting go as I do right now. I could never be all I can with you around. Wrapped in the bottle, there's no tomorrow, and I don't care what the future may hold. I sleep with both eyes closed. I'm bound to lose control, but that's okay because I still have my soul. Decisions lay on me. That's the price I pay to be who I am. My choices irreverent. I don't care. I will take what I can. I shit myself. Now I'm feeling like a shipwreck of a captain who's mad and drunk at the helm. Ain't it funny how a mistake in the end can cause you all kinds of hell? Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. It's Ricky Rocks, coming out of the box. Bitches come in flocks, trying to steal his jocks. He needs to be contained with padded rocks. It's the Ricky Rock Show, spreading like the pox. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks. Ricky rocks, Ricky rocks, yeah. Ricky rocks up in your grill, motherfucker.
Hey, this is Ricky Rocks, and you are listening to Rocks100.com.